What's up? What's up, YouTube? Getting TikTok going. Guys, I'm so sorry I'm late. So sorry I'm late. Woke up a little late. Got myself together. Made a coffee. 1 second, guys. Debate Orthodox Muslim. Y'all should just go on my videos, man. Y'all will see what you want. What's up, YouTube? What up, TikTok? Tap the screen. So sorry I'm late. Is my sound good, guys? Let me know if my sound's good. Okay, cool. We're good on TikTok. What about YouTube? Am I good? Let me know if my sound's good. Let me check my settings. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't even live yet, Cisco. That's why you didn't hear me at first. So sorry I'm late, guys. I woke up late because I was up late on Word and Eyes Live. And then I had like a little emergency work call I had to deal with for like 20 minutes. So my apologies. But everything is sorted out. Everything's good. Real quick, bro, this is amazing. We already started off. Let me see something. Hold on a second. Where'd those super chats go? Oh, man. Hold on a second. Don't tell me it did that. 1 second, guys. Because we had some super chats already, I believe. Let me get to it real quick. Because it's not showing me on the... Now that I started it late, it's not showing me on the... Hey, Muslim apologist, 1 second, okay? Just give me 1 second. I'm going to let you up in a second. One moment. Oh, maybe not. Did we have some super chats earlier? Did we give some super chats going or no? Because I thought I saw it on my thing, but I could be tripping. All right, never mind. I don't think we had super chats. I think I'm tripping. Anyways, guys, welcome, everybody. Let me get this thing going. Let's get the thing going.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up?
Just a question regarding the way you count when it comes to the S's and persons. Do you employ absolute identity or relative identity?
Absolute what?
Absolute identity or relative identity?
When we're talking about, I'm not going to go into the weeds of either one. But I'm just going to keep it very simple on how I count. When I count the essence, we're counting the essence. When I'm counting the persons, we're counting the distinctions of the persons. It's just like anything else that we would count in those categories.
Do you use a different method for each, or do you apply the same counting method?
It's the same. It's the same counting that we would do with anything else. And if I'm counting
is that absolute or relative?
I don't even know what you mean by that. So I wouldn't even be able to answer that.
I can give you my understanding of what I mean by absolute, and then we can go from there.
All right, go ahead.
So when it comes to absolute identity, A must be absolutely identical to B in every way, and there's not going to be any distinctions. When it comes to relative identity, there can be a similarity in sense and a difference in another sense, yet we will still count one. So I assume your position is that when you count the soul to God specifically, you use relative identity because the three hypostases share the same attributes, they share the same essential attributes, what makes them God. Am I correct in saying that?
It sounds correct, but I think there's something that's off there because we don't hold the hypostasis and the essence to be identical.
I didn't say they are. I'm saying based upon what they share, that's what makes them one. Correct? One essence.
No, yeah. They share the same essence, yes.
Now the issue you have is that if we employ the same counting method for the soul to person,
For the what? I'm sorry.
For the soul to for the category person. So obviously there's going to be the category of God and the category of person. Mm-hmm. The category of God, I got the clarification now. Your position is that we employ relative identity. Now, when it comes to the soul to,
I don't know if I don't think I necessarily subscribe to relative identity. I just can't pinpoint what's off on that. But proceed with the argument, and I'll be able to point it out.
Sure, but the thing is, if you go with absolute identity, you're gonna.
I don't know if I hold to either one, to be honest with you. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like proceed with the. I don't necessarily have an objection right away as far as how you describe relative identity. However, I think it'll be easier for me to point out my objection if you just proceed with the argument.
It means if you say that one more time.
I think if you just proceed with your argument of what the issue is, then I'll be able to object.
My argument is that Christians, when they count, specifically speaking of those who hold to your view, you guys use a different counting method for the category God than the counting method used for persons. The reason I say that is because when you guys count the category of God, you say that because they share the same essential attributes, relatively speaking, they employing relative identity, that's going to make them one God. However, when it comes to the persons, you employ a different counting method and you employ absolute identity, and therefore you say that because the persons are not absolutely identical, they're going to be discernible, therefore they're not each other. So now my question to you is going to be, that's my objection. Why do you use a different count? If you do, why do you use a different counting method for the category God than category person?
What's the issue with what, like, you're presenting an argument as if like we have to go by a counting method that you're like, as if the problem is a counting method. But what is logically incoherent with counting the essence as the essence and counting the persons as the persons, and then because of what the essence are, counting saying that the persons are still one being? Like, what's the issue with that?
Yeah, I have no issue with you counting persons and essences. I have no issue with that. I'm saying what I have an issue with.
No, I know.
The way,
go ahead. Yeah. But I'm going to clarify again because I understand what you're saying. But go ahead.
Yeah. So the way you guys are counting, I'm saying that you should stay consistent. And if you're going to employ a counting method, it should be consistent for both soul to God and soul to person. But if you use a different counting method for each, I'm just going to say that you're special pleading to avoid polytheism.
No, I think the special. I don't think that you're presenting anything that is an actual objection. I think what you're doing is you're presenting a criteria that you're trying to pigeonhole me to, and my objection is, why should I be held to this criteria?
Okay, I'll make it simple. If we were to count the soul to God by absolute identity, how many would we get?
Yeah, brother, I'm not going to go into the absolute identity. You're not responding to why you're holding me to this standard.
Yeah.
So, like, are you saying the logical contradiction is that because we're counting the essence as the essence and the persons as the persons? Hold on, bro. You're not even letting me finish. Like, how do you saying no if you didn't even let me? I didn't even bring it.
Because that's not the point I'm not saying.
I understand. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Let me finish. I think you will agree that this is what you're saying. So what you're saying is, because we count the essence as the essence, and because we count the way we count the persons, we cannot say that the persons are one being because we're counting the persons as distinct from each other and the essence is just one, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, no, no.
Okay. Go ahead. Present your objection again then.
Yeah, I have no issue with you counting an essence and counting a person.
I know.
The issue I have, what I'm saying is, use the same counting method. If you're going to employ relative identity for the persons, employ relative identity for the essence. If you're going to employ absolute identity for the persons, employ absolute identity for the essence.
Yeah.
I'm simply asking you to stay consistent.
Yeah. So you're saying that basically we should say that the three persons are the same person because of the identity, because we're saying that they're the one essence, right? If we're going to be consistent. Is that your objection?
If you employ absolute identity, then you're gonna have three persons, but you're gonna also have three gods. If you employ absolute identity,
Right. I get what you're saying. So if we're gonna go absolute identity, just like we're identifying the persons, then you're saying that this would have to apply to the essence, correct?
yeah, unless you become a modalist and say that the father
Right.
is the son.
Or exactly. Or we're gonna do relative identity, and then they would have to say that there's one person, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, exactly. I knew what your objection was this whole time. Now, why should I be? Why? Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask it this way, because I don't want to go around in circles. Well, let me just put it out there that we do not believe that the hypostasis and the essence are identical. They're distinct from each other.
I agree.
Okay, good. So I'm just putting it out there because there's a distinction, right? Why should I? And this is my objection. Why should I actually have to hold in either to one or the other? Why cannot there be because there's a distinction? Why can't there be a distinction on what we're counting?
Yeah. So just because two subjects or two predicates are distinct doesn't mean that we employ different counting methods. That's unintelligible.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Those are because they're two different categories.
Sure.
We're like this is all, we're not going to conflate the two categories because if we're conflating if we're going to conflate the two categories, then yes, the counting is going to be the same. But this is why it's important for me to say the hypostasis and the essence are distinct. Now that would mean it would be a different counting. That's what that would mean.
Why? What's the argument for that?
Because they're distinct. That's why.
Okay.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
one second. Give me the argument that just because two things are truly distinct that we must use a different counting method for each. What's the argument for that?
Because they are not identical. We're counting two different categories.
Again, you just beg the question. I know they're distinct. I'm saying, why is it that because they're distinct, we must count differently?
Because they're two different things. All right. Let me rephrase. Let me do a different word. Because we're referencing when we're counting in reference to something else. That's why.
I agree. So what's the argument?
Exactly. Then you agree. Then you need to provide to me an argument as to why it should be the same counting method.
What? But you're not serious, right?
Okay, bro. All right. Well, we're not going to keep going around in circles. I don't see why I need to be held. Why what the incoherence is that we're going to count it differently.
Because you will simply be special pleading.
No, I'm not. No, bro. I promise. Special pleading would be I don't need to count it because I said so. I'm asking you for the argument as to why I need to count it that way.
Okay, I'll give an example. Right? When it comes to in Islam, for example, right? And it's just an example, so I can show you.
Bro, Islam, I'm going to end up asking you questions about Islam. By the way, this would actually crumble you. But yeah, go ahead.
Just give me a second. Yeah, just relax. For example, in Islam, we are going to have the sort of God, and we're going to have the sort of attributes. We count the same sort for God as we count the same for attributes, even though they're truly distinct. So that's one example of how the attributes and the essence are truly distinct. Yeah, we employ absolute identity for the essence, and we employ absolute identity for the attributes.
Okay,
so
good.
now, I've now given an example. Why should we use a different counting method for the sort of person than the sort of God?
Brother, you understand that the attributes you attribute to your Allah, you believe are identical to the essence, right?
Don't red hair, please, man.
Bro, you brought up your own God in the attributes, bro. What are you talking about? Can you answer my question? Do you believe that the attributes are identical to the essence?
Are you really gonna do this, huh?
Yes. Can you answer the question? I'm not going to take it to where you think I'm going to take it. Don't get freaky on me now.
We don't believe that the attributes are identical to the essence. No.
The attributes are not identical to the essence?
No.
Then what are the attributes then? I didn't expect you to say that. What are the attributes then?
Yeah, they're going to be abstract descriptors that subsist in the essence.
Descriptors
So,
of
for example,
what?
we don't
Hold on,
know
hold on. Descriptors of what?
Of the essence. They describe the essence.
So then how can you describe how can these attributes describe the essence and not be identical to the essence?
Yeah, so for example, we don't believe that the attribute of mercy is going to be identical to God's essence.
The attribute of what?
Again,
The attribute of what?
mercy.
Mercy. Okay, mercy. So,
Yeah, sure.
but you're saying that describes the essence.
Yes. It
So then
describes
how-
the essence, but it's not identical to the essence.
How can it describe the essence if it's not identical to the essence? If I'm saying,
Because
if I'm, for example, if I'm saying you are a human, right? Me saying you're a human is describing the essence, right?
That's an example, but that's
I'm
not
giving an
what
example of a
we do.
descriptor of the essence.
Sure.
If I'm saying you are human, that's describing your essence, right?
Yeah, sure.
Is being human identical to the essence?
Absolutely or relatively?
Is it identical at all? Absolutely. Is it absolutely identical to that?
You have to clarify.
Is it absolutely identical?
No.
It's not absolutely identical to the essence. It's not identical.
No.
Okay, so it's relatively identical? It's relatively?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it will be relatively.
Okay, so it is identical to the essence.
In a relative sense, but I don't count.
So it is. Okay, good. So it is identical to the essence, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Then how? Then okay, you just said it's relatively identical. Did you not just say that?
But not. Yeah, but not absolutely identical.
Okay, who cares? It's identical though, right?
What do you mean? Yeah, you have to.
Is it identical? Is it identical?
No, not absolutely identical. No.
Okay, good. Is it relatively identical?
Sure.
But you said the attributes weren't identical.
Yeah, the reason I say that they're not identical is because there's something that is true of the essence that isn't true of the attributes. So they can't be identical.
Okay, so are they really distinct?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. So they're really distinct.
Oh my God.
So they're really distinct, but they're not they are identical in some sense?
Yes.
How can something be identical in one sense and really distinct on another?
Relative identity.
All right, bro. Hey,
Welcome.
bro, see you later, bro. See you later, bro. I'm getting dumber by the conversation, bro. They're distinct, but they're identical at the same time. Like, I honestly I wasn't even trying to bring an argument against Islam there. I was actually just going along with what he said. Really, what I was going to end up doing was, if you believe the attributes are distinct, which he now said it is, distinct from the essence, then, or if you think they're identical to the essence, which he said too, then obviously you're going to count it differently. You can't use the one-to-one analogy of Allah and the Trinity, because you guys are looking at the attributes and the essence differently from us. We're looking at the essence and the persons as being distinct. So you're going to end up counting each category differently. But you then said that the attributes are identical to Allah, but they're also really distinct from Allah. What the hell is going on, dude? The contradictions are crazy, bro. What's up?
Brother, you make them look fools every day, but this is one thing. These Salafis, not the Shias. The Shias believe in divine simplicities. They actually believe that their attributes are not identical to the essence, which leads to their God being composite parts. That means it's 99 parts. They somehow say that it is not identical to the essence, but not separate. And we ask, what the hell does that even mean? And they'll come up with their own special pleading about it.
I know,
But
man.
yes, Salafis do believe that the 99 attributes of their Allah are not identical to the essence. So that leads to composition and parts. Why? Because they make a real distinction between the attributes of Allah and Allah's essence. The entailment of that is that Allah is made up of metaphysical parts.
Exactly.
This is the part where we get them all the time. It's like, they say, not identical, not separate. Just silly philosophical contradiction. So what the Salafis are claiming is Allah's attributes are not parts, but but they're not identical to the essence either. But there's a problem here. If an attribute is not identical to essence, like you were saying, then it's something other than the essence. And if it is something other than the essence, it exists in addition to the essence. And that logical distinction of essence, which means it contradicts pure Tawheed.
Exactly right. And the thing is like I didn't even think. I thought he was going to hold one position or the other. Like, is it distinct or are they identical? Now he said, oh, it's relative, not absolute. Okay, no worries. If they're still identical, then how is it really distinct? How is there a real distinction here?
Yeah.
A-
It's a complete special pleading. Now he wanted us to collapse person and being. Can you not? Pretty please, collapse it,
Yeah.
make it that way.
No,
All right.
that's
You
every
take-
single Trinity argument is let's
We'll take the
collapse it.
same logic and put it towards you, and you'll have 99 gods.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Thank you for allowing me to come up again.
No worries, brother. Thanks for coming up, brother. Love you, man.
Yes, man. Just go ahead and drop me if you don't mind, so I don't get out of it.
Hey man, how's it going?
What's up, bro? Are you Muslim?
Alhamdulillah, yes.
Okay. What's your question?
All right. So the question, the title, it says, Muslims, why are you not Christian? Christianity is logical.
Sure.
It is very simple. I cannot believe in a God that eats, shits, and farts.
Yeah. First of all, just to let you know, I'm gonna let that pass. But if you could bring an argument as to why our God is illogical,
yeah.
let me finish, please. You could bring an argument as to why our God is illogical, right? But you understand that the way you just presented that, right, can come off as disrespectful. So I'm going to give you another chance. If that happens again, I promise you, your prophet's going to get insulted.
You can insult, but you're insulting a man. But you,
Yeah,
it's a God.
whatever, whatever.
Our
You can
prophet
you
is a
can say,
human being.
yeah, no worries, no worries.
It's a
So you're
God
okay
that
with me?
shits
So
and
you're
farts. I
so you're
cannot
okay with
believe
me insulting
that
your
a
God?
God
Okay,
that
good. Your God, all right. Regardless of whether he goes to the bathroom
No,
or
but
not,
this
regardless
is
of whether
you.
Jesus went to the bathroom or not, right? You know what? You know what Jesus didn't do?
God goes to the-
We follow a man that doesn't lay in bed with his pants off with a 9-year-old, right? So that's who you follow. That's the sunnah. That's what you feel like it's a good thing. This is a good thing. Everything that the prophet did is revealed by God, right? Even God told him to go, or even your Allah told him that he can marry that 6-year-old, right? But see, having your pants off with a little baby, right? That's I don't know, man. I rather go ahead and follow someone that uses the bathroom. No offense. No offense. But see, this is what Islam has to result to. When you don't really have an argument, you're just gonna come up and just insult. You're just gonna whatever, bro. You know? What you gonna do, man? I gave him a chance, chat. I gave him a chance. What's up?
What's up? Oh, we did. Hello?
What's up, man?
Oh no, what's up? I said where he dipped. I ain't know he left. That's all I was saying. He said something crazy.
Are you Muslim?
No, bro, I'm a Christian.
All right, bro. Well, thanks for coming up, man. Appreciate you. Anyways. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Guys, I've been putting super chat goals like on the little chat here, like as if like I can't put a super chat goal on the thing. Like, what the hell? I'm still new to TikTok, guys. So my bad. Let's see. Let's set a timer. An hour. All right, let's try that. This is my first time doing this. Let's go. Started a goal. All right. So apparently I could put like timers and stuff like that, like for the super chat goal. So we're gonna do it this way. There we go. An hour. Let's see if we can do that. Super chat goal. First time we're doing that. Hey, Triangle Man, you request again, bro. We're gonna show you the door, yeah? So I'm gonna remove your request and go ahead and do it one more time. Watch what happens. Unless you want to keep watching the stream, you want to keep watching from a distance, you want to get another chance another day, stop requesting. If you don't, okay, good. All right, bro. Hey, kick rocks, yeah? See you later, clown. See you later, clown. Man. By the way, did anybody see Dom debating Renegade just a little bit ago? Or they're probably still going at it. Might sound crispy today, huh? Hey. Thank y'all. Yeah, I mean, it's, guys, at the end of the day, it's a shame. Now, granted, man, thank God I didn't fall for this heresy, because I could have. I was very much, when I was reconstructing my faith, I was, I really made sure that everything was in line with the Torah. That's how I found orthodoxy, because I found that the church fathers and everything, they were really, really consistent with the interpretations of the Torah. They really relied on themes that started off in the Torah and so forth. Now, there is a way where you can get to an extreme and actually denounce the church because of the way the church is conducting itself, right? The way that the church is conducting itself as far as like interpretations of the Torah, if you're not following a strict interpretation. And that is what St. Paul was dealing with the Judaizers. This is the letter to the Romans, the letter to Galatians. These are him dealing specifically with Judaizers. So, unfortunately, it's sad to see, but Keon has definitely went to the extreme of being a Judaizer. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's just sad to see, man. Me and Keon used to debate together, and we used to see a lot of things eye to eye. And now it's just like he went to a complete extreme. Dapper, thank you for the super chat. Keep doing God's work, brother. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I'm blessed and so honored to be doing God's work. I can't even believe I'm doing this, to be honest with you. I think back in my life and how I even got here. This is not something I had a goal or an end goal for me or anything. And now here I am doing this. But I'm super grateful that God has pulled me into this, because I really feel like first time in my life I'm actually doing something God's called me to do. Other things that I did in my life, I think I used God's gifts, but it wasn't really necessarily for God's calling. And I think He's definitely called me for this. And it's the first time in my life I'm actually doing something I feel like He's called me to do. So thank you. I'm just honored. It took me a long time, guys, to figure out what my calling was, honestly. I thought it was business. I thought it was basketball. I thought it was a lot of things, but here I am. Yeah, here I am. So. Thank you, Noah. Thank you. Appreciate you. So, yeah, this is just the beginning, man. And thank you guys for the support. I wouldn't be able to do this if you guys weren't here supporting. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys are not on the lives, if you guys are not, commenting and liking the videos and all that stuff, the super chats, all that stuff, I would not be here. So, thank you guys. And yeah, and guess what? I wouldn't have found an Orthodox church either, which has been a major net positive for me in my life, in my personal life, right? Obviously, it helps with debating and stuff like that, but that's not the most important thing. It's my personal spiritual walk with Christ that's the most important, and the Orthodox church has been a net positive for me in that, just me having a priest that I can report to, I can share things with. I could safely open up about my struggles and my sins, and then get proper guidance and advice and just how to deal with my struggles, which we all have, right? I have my own personal struggles, my own sins that I deal with. The fact that the Orthodox Church provides a structure on how to deal with that, and still be within the body of Christ and still be in good standing and in righteousness with Christ, despite your struggles, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm just so grateful. I went to confession last night. Dealt with talked about a lot of things that I struggle with, and I walk away just feeling so rejuvenated, like with hope that I could do this. You know what I mean? So, we all got our struggles, man, and I just love that we can deal with it in the Orthodox Church. Whereas before, I had to deal with these problems internally, and maybe talk to a pastor if they're available or whatever, but never get the full satisfaction, or at least the reassurance 100% of the time. Not saying never, but I didn't really get 100% of the time the reassurance that I have a plan and we're going to do something to make myself right with God again. It was always just like, hey, you're already in good standing, but it definitely doesn't feel that way. You know what I mean? And it's just like, well, you just gotta have faith that you're in good standing. And it's like, nah. But the Orthodox Church actually makes you walk you through things to let you know that you're in good standing. So, was I always a Christian? You know what? The answer is technically no, right? Technically no, but I was a believer in Christ since I was 7 years old, right? I really just and I remember when it happened. I remember my aunt explaining to me the gospel, the cross, what it meant. I remember all of that, and I fully understood it. I remember where I was. I remember the moment, right? And she asked me if I wanted to pray, right, do a prayer of salvation. I remember it. I was 7 years old. So I always believed. I never doubted that. There was only one time in my life that I doubted it, only because I wasn't getting the results that I wasn't getting the results in my life off of the interpretations of the Bible from the Protestant Church. Something was off on how I looked at the Bible. So there was a point when, and this is what sparked my journey of reconstructing my faith, that I said, either my interpretation is off, or it's not correct, or there is no God. Now, even though I presented that possibility, I never really believed that. I went into the arguments for atheism. It just didn't follow. To me, it just fell apart quick. So I believed there was a God, and I did believe in Christ and Christianity for the most part, but I just was having doubts. I just left the possibility on the table that maybe Christianity is not true, just to be fair and get to the truth. Like I didn't want to automatically assume Christianity is true because I feel like it is. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be very open-minded and keep my emotions out of it. But deep down, I never really doubted Christianity. But I did present the possibility of it not being true. I did put that forward in order for me to really get the answers that I needed. And that's important. You gotta don't be afraid just because you feel something is true to explore the possibility of you being wrong, right? Like, well, what if I'm wrong? I feel like it's true, but what if I'm wrong? I want to know the arguments against it. And so, anyways, I've always been a Christian, I guess, in that sense. I don't think there was a moment where I really denounced Christianity. Except for, I guess, if you want to count that, what I'm saying, like when I'm exploring the possibilities of it not being true, I approached it with an open mind. I put my feelings to the side and said, okay, let's see what these arguments say about Christianity. So, throw it out there. That's what it is. Simply on TikTok says, you can never truly, fully know the truth unless you try your hardest to disprove it. And I agree with you 100%. It's a scary thing to do. Look, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not a kid, right? I'm a grown man. Like, most of the people on here I'm older than most of the people here that debate and stuff like that. Like to be a believer in something since you were 7, right? I'm in my 30s, right? That's a long time. It's scary to put that belief to the side, to put that belief to the side, and then say, hey, I'm gonna open up the opportunity of somebody disproving my paradigm. Because if it turns out to be true and your paradigm is false, then you have to live with the reality that you've been basically living a lie for most of your life. Most of your life. That's scary. And it was not comfortable for me, by the way, guys. It wasn't comfortable for me, but in my mind, I was thinking, look, it's not comfortable. If it turns out that Christianity is false when I was reconstructing my faith, then I need to live with that reality because I rather deal with the pain of that rather than continuing to believe in something that's not true and it's not giving me positive results. And Christianity wasn't not that it was giving me no positive results, but it wasn't overall completing what you're supposed to be receiving from this walk with Christ. Like there was something off. There was something not there. The puzzle was not complete for some reason. And I wanted it. I wanted the full completion of the faith. And thank God the Orthodox Church provides that. Thank God the Orthodox Church exists. Because, man, whew, crazy. All right, guys. Do we got some ops, man? Let's keep tapping the screen, man, because I'm sitting here just yapping. Do you guys even enjoy hearing me yap about this stuff? Because it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I start rambling. Like I'm going like off topic or something. All right. Let's see. Let's read some comments. Come to the light. Say, yeah, bruh. I'll be working out while you yap. Oh, I don't know. Oh, like that sounds crazy, but I definitely took it as a compliment. But I take it as a compliment because, like, I know for me, like, I'm a podcast listener. I there's certain people I do just whatever, man. You can yap all day, and I like hearing your take. It sounds crazy though. Germ at the gym. Everybody at the gym. There's a lot of people that are at the gym when they listen to me, which I love. That's what's the best morning live on TikTok. Thank you, Rubba. I don't really ramble. Yeah, if honestly, from my perspective, it feels like I ramble, but I'm glad you guys don't think that because in my mind, I'm like, dude, what am I yapping about? You at the gym too, Adrian? Bro, W Gym Live. W Gym Live. Where the ops at? Oh, by the way, guys, don't forget. Okay, obviously, guys, don't forget to follow Peace, her YouTube. In this. Oh crap! Did I put it in the description? I did not put it in the description today. Oh my god, I'm such a bad boyfriend. Hold on a second. Terrible. Let me put it in the description. Bruh, today was crazy. I woke up late. Well, I actually woke up early, but then fell back asleep. And then, emergency call for work out of the blue. Got it handled, though. Took like 20 minutes, though. Kind of threw me off, man. But anyways, don't forget to follow Peace's YouTube. It's in the description right now for the stream. Link in the description. Don't forget to follow her on TikTok. It's Peace Apologetics. She's not on the panel right now, but you already know, gang. All right. But I am going to start doing. What's up? Why not? What's up, brother? And by the way, thank you everybody on the Discord responding yesterday, and I'll get to that in a second. But Why Not was like the first person to respond, so thank you, Why Not, for jumping in there. But yeah, tonight, I think, at some point, I'm going to do my first live reaction video, just me, okay? I went on my Discord. If you're part of my Discord, you saw it. But I was asking for videos that you guys want me to react to, right? I always wanted to do something like that. I just didn't know when the opportunity was. I do want to bring other pieces of content that can still be educational to you guys without me just debating all the time, right? Because the debates are good to hear and great way for you guys to learn. Even if the arguments get repetitive, these arguments need to be repeated over and over again for you to get it. So it's really, really good. Okay. But there's different ways for you to get knowledge too, right? To hear it. If you're good at listening to other people talk about things, that's how I was, right? That's why you guys, I think people that enjoy this type of content, you guys are like me. I'm really good at hearing things over and over again, and then I process it, and then all of a sudden I all of a sudden I get like the information instilled in my head. That's how I learned most of the Bible, right? So another way I think that I think we can do it, since you guys like to hear me yap, is if we're watching a video of something else, whatever it is, another piece of content or something that gets the thoughts going, and we can share things or whatever. I can express certain things or point things out. I think will be another good way for you guys to retain information. So I am going to be doing live reaction videos, right? They're going to be on my lives, more than likely in the evening, not in the mornings, right? Mornings are going to be for debating, evening will be for reactions. I would love to do as many as I possibly can, okay? Live reactions are a very, very big, like a very positive way. If you guys enjoy them, they're going to be a really good way to get the algorithm going on my YouTube channel, because live reactions tend to naturally have higher watch times, and higher watch time is king on YouTube. So higher watch times means more videos going viral, means that the channel will get more of a push overall by YouTube if it shows that type of results and those type of statistics. So I'm going to start doing it as much as I can. I need your guys' help though, okay? Because what I necessarily see as, hey, this is a good one to react to, doesn't mean you guys will enjoy it, okay? And I'm okay with you guys saying, I didn't really enjoy this, or I didn't really like this or that. I need your guys' input, right? Because there might be some things where I'm like, hey, I think this is a good video, and you guys will be like, that was fire, that was amazing. And then there's going to be other videos that I feel the same way, and you guys don't feel that way, right? So the masses, what the audience wants, matters more than what I necessarily want. I can probably assume I know what you want, but that doesn't mean I'm right. Okay? I wouldn't be offended if I'm wrong. I want to know what you guys want, what you guys need, so that I can provide that for you guys. Because the more you guys enjoy it as a whole, the more we can grow this channel, because it's going to show through the watch time, and it's going to get pushed out. So anyways, if you guys are part of my Discord, I put it out there. I said, hey guys, tag me in videos you guys want me to react to. I'm going to make another channel today, a separate channel for these type of suggestions. I'll make an announcement today on my Discord. But if you want to do that, if you want a video of me reacting to something that you want to get my perspective on, and I feel, and it looks like it's a good one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a channel today on my Discord where you guys can put recommendations. And then I want you guys to not only recommend videos, but then I want you guys to see other videos that people are recommending, so that you guys can like whatever people post, so that when I see somebody recommends, for example, let's say Germ recommends a video, right? And he puts it in this channel, and then I see 100 people like that video. That's going to tell me that Germ recommended a video that everyone else agrees is going to be a good video. So now it's going to give me an indicator of I got to do that one, because everybody wants me to see that. See me do that one, right? So it's not just your recommendation. It's not just mine. It's the overall consensus of the audience, right? So I'm going to go with the ones that the audience are going to recommend, and as a whole, or agree with, right? So we're going to do this like church fathers, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do this like the church. We're going to decide through a consensus, what does the body of Christ say, right? We're going to do it like that. And so I'm going to make a channel today after I'm done with the live on the Discord on it. That way you guys can vote on things. And you just vote it by just liking what people suggest. And then if you have a suggestion, put one out there, right? Put a suggestion out there and let's see what everybody else thinks, okay? But I'm going to do with that. And then I want to get as many as I can, because honestly, guys, if this is something that works, I don't mind doing a live reaction every night if I can, if my schedule permits, right? If it goes really well, I will be able to do it because monetization wise, it's going to provide what I need in order to be able to do it full time and stuff like that. You know, so yeah. Anyways, that I think that's what we're gonna end up doing. And Kai Burr, oh my gosh, bro. Kai Bird, thank you so much, bro. You are always a huge supporter of mine, man, and I really appreciate you more than you know. Kai Bird says on the super chat, $10 super chat, God bless you, peace, bear in peace. If either of you have any dogs or cats, give them extra pats from me. Exactly. I'll let Peace know she does have a cat, all right? And his name is Honey Bear, right? Bear. That's not that he was named that way before she met me, so coincidence. But yeah, she's a cat lover. She loves cats. So anyways, all right, we got an op. Let's see what we got.
How you doing?
What's up, man?
Not bad.
Are you Muslim?
What's going on?
What's up, man? Are you
Thank
Muslim?
God, one God. God of Jesus.
Does that mean you're Muslim?
Yeah, God of Jesus, same God.
Okay, cool.
You know, Jesus said true worshipers worship the Father. Do you agree?
Yeah, do you worship the Father?
No, yeah, I'm asking you, do you agree or not?
Yeah,
Watch
yeah.
this.
Do you worship the Father?
Huh?
Yeah, do you worship the Father?
Yes.
You do?
And
You call,
not in the
I
same sense
thought
you do.
Allah was
No.
not a father.
Let me teach you something. I know you're gonna run to that, but you said you agreed that true worshipers worship the Father, like Jesus said.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't say Trinity, so we both agree true worshipers worship the Father. Correct?
Yeah, the Father by nature is triune.
Yes. Not what? By what?
The Father's nature. He's a.
Nature.
He's
No,
the
you
Father's.
added that. He didn't say nature.
I didn't
He
finish.
true
Bro.
worshipers
Hey,
worship
brother,
the Father.
I didn't
Let me
finish.
take it a bit
I didn't
further.
finish. I
Let me
didn't.
take
I
it a bit
didn't
further.
finish. I didn't
The
finish.
Pharisees know that the Pharisees.
Hey, bro, I didn't finish. Don't do that. All right. The Father and the nature that He shares with the Son and the Holy Spirit is triune.
Doesn't say that in the verse. You added that.
Doesn't need
I'm
to.
asking you.
It doesn't
Jesus'
need to.
words. You
The
don't
Bible.
follow Jesus. I know
It doesn't.
that.
It doesn't
But
need
don't add
to.
stuff to Jesus' words.
It doesn't
That's
need to say
blasphemy.
that explicitly. It doesn't need to say that.
No, yeah, well, he said that. He said he didn't say in his nature. You said that.
Yeah.
That's Christianity.
It doesn't need to say
You
that
added
explicitly, bro.
to Jesus' words.
It doesn't
Now-
need to say
now,
that explicitly.
let's go
We can
back-
see it
let's
in the
go
rest of
back-
the. We can see it in the rest of the
let's go back
Bible.
to Jesus' words, because I'm only interested in Jesus.
Hey, bro, listen. You're not gonna come up here and dictate where the conversation goes, bro. Like, be respectful. Like, yeah, I know. I forgot who you are. You come in other names and stuff. You come in.
Hey, he's gonna run.
Yeah. Actually, let me. You know what? Because you always bring arguments to me. I forgot what your other name was in your other profile. But you always bring arguments to me. Let me ask you real quick. Hold on, brother. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Because I always respond to your arguments. Can you respond to an argument of mine? Can you respond to an argument of mine, please?
Answer mine first.
No,
We already started.
Yeah. You win. You win the argument. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Good. Yeah. Trinity is not true. Now let me ask you a question about
He's
your
gonna
God.
run to the Quran now. Watch
No.
this.
Actually, I'm not. What
Okay.
I want to know is, do you think that your Allah is logical?
Of course, yours is not.
Yeah. Good. I already. You remember you won the debate. Yeah, we're logical. Okay. All right. Now, when it comes to Allah being logical, right? If I present something that He is a contradiction in any way, in the way that you guys believe Him to be, then you would agree that He's not God anymore, right?
Oh, I told you you're gonna run to the Quran.
Okay, can you answer the question?
I haven't finished my question yet. Then you can go to the Quran.
Well, I already conceded. You won the debate, bro.
No.
Already
I
conceded.
haven't finished yet.
I concede already, bro. You brought these arguments before. I can't answer them.
I got more. So why aren't you a Muslim?
Yeah. So I'm not a Muslim because here I'll tell you why. Because I think I'll tell you why. Here I'll tell you why. Because I don't think Allah is illogical. I don't think He's logical. I mean.
Well.
So let me tell you why. Okay. So I don't believe He's logical because according to your guys' belief, He's the most loving. Correct?
Oh no, you're not gonna go there, bro.
Can you answer the question? Do you believe that? Do you believe He's the most loving?
He is the most loving.
Okay.
Yes.
Is he eternally the most loving?
Yes.
Okay. Then who was He loving before creation?
Oh, I knew you were going there. I knew you were going. I knew you were gonna go there. We can say the same thing. Is Yahweh the most loving?
I already conceded, bro. Trinity is theological. Can you
There's
tell
no-
me?
there's
Can you
no
answer my
point to
question?
talk to you.
Can you
You know,
answer? Can you
Jesus
answer my?
said,
This
let me
is
go
why.
back to the
Hey, no,
Bible.
no, no. This
Jesus
is.
said, follow the Pharisees. They know
Hey,
what they
hey,
preach.
hey, bro, hey, bro. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Why aren't you following the
Hey,
Pharisees? They
hey,
only
hold
believe in
on,
Trinity,
bro.
bro.
Hold on, hold on. This is why I'm not a Muslim, bro. This is why
You
I'm not a Muslim.
conceded, so you lost. Goodbye, my
Yeah,
friend.
exactly. Yes. Now, can you answer my
Yeah.
question? Can you answer my question? Who was he loving before
You
creation?
ran to the Quran.
Who was
I
he
dare
loving
you to stay in
before
the
create?
Bible. I dare
Hey,
you.
who was he
You
loving?
ran to the Quran.
Brother, what is? Why are you so
The
fearful of the
secular,
answering this question?
argument is.
Why are you so fearful of answering
I
this
know this
question,
game
bro?
you're gonna play. Stay with the Bible.
A-list, A-list. I already conceded the
Stay with the
argument. You
Bible.
won, bro. You won. You won. You got it. Now, you asked me why I'm not a Muslim. This is why I'm not a Muslim. Because I need to understand who was he loving before creation. Can you answer that?
Bro, can God create us and love us or not? When
Can,
you have a child,
I didn't understand.
before you
What'd
have
you
a
say?
child, do you love your child?
No, because the child doesn't
Okay,
exist.
then that's it. Finish. Now I answered
Wait,
you.
wait, hold on.
So
What?
let's continue. Let's go back
So
to
Allah, Allah wasn't the most loving?
Let's go back to the
Hey,
Bible.
chat,
I answered
chat. I want you to guys see right
already
now.
answered, bro. You
Remember
already
when I ask these questions, chat. Hold on, bro. I'm talking to.
answered.
Hey,
That's
hold on.
it.
I'm gonna drop you down. You can come back up because you can't control yourself, okay? But I want the chat to see this, okay? Because this is what happens normally, right? Whenever I bring up who the love argument that they know is coming, what do they usually do? They usually. What a stupid argument. Stupid. Okay, cool. Answer the question. When I just ignore their little gaslighting and I say, okay, good, just answer the question. If it's stupid, go ahead and answer it. What ends up happening? This is what happens. He doesn't want to answer the question and he wants to run back to the Bible. Now, I dropped him because he can't control himself. I want to bring him back up, but I know he's listening to this. And I know that because he's being called out and being exposed as to what he's actually doing, he's going to be too much of a coward to request back up. I haven't even looked at the guest box to see if he's requesting back up. I guarantee you when I look, he's not going to be there because he's a coward, because he's getting exposed right now. And if I'm wrong, he would have the balls to request back up and prove that I'm wrong, right? So here we go. Let's do up. And sure enough, he's not there. Why? Because he's being exposed right now. And he knows that by me saying this to you guys, if I bring him back up and he tries to run back to the Bible, it's just going to further expose his cowardness, right? It's going to further prove that he doesn't want to actually debate. He doesn't want to debate that question or anything like that. And guys, you said like somebody in there said, "Groovy Granny, I love you." You said that don't concede to what he's saying. There's sometimes it's okay to concede to certain things just to move to the point that you actually want to move to, right? Like whatever. You won the Trinity debate. Like imagine him trying to get that clip off of me of him just cutting out when I said you won. Who cares, right? You won the debate. This guy only comes up to bring arguments. He tags me, he tags Logic, he tags in his post. I forgot what his other name was. And all he wants to do is bring arguments, but he can never defend his own faith, right? So guess what? Let me just concede and say you won, so we can expose him that he can't defend his own faith, right? Let's expose him because we've refuted this guy over and over again, and he's just gonna go around in circles and just be dumb, you know. So, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, like I was saying before, reaction videos. And while we're on this little break, make sure you guys follow Peace. Hit her some subs on YouTube, guys. The YouTube, her YouTube is on my description for the stream. TikTok, her link to her YouTube is on in my profile on my YouTube. So you guys can go to my YouTube if you're on TikTok and hit the subscribe button to the link there. But, oh, who let you? I didn't even see you come up.
I've been in the box waiting.
I didn't even see you. I just checked the box a minute ago. Anyways,
I don't know.
thank you, Adrian. Hello, my love. Yeah, the reaction video being Bryce. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. I forgot to announce that too. Yeah. So you guys probably saw it on my story. I am doing. Oh, me and Peace are going to be hosting Bryce J on my live to do a reaction of God Logic and Libiano. Now it's a little bit of a different reaction video. It's going to be more of we're going to pick Bryce's brain off of this video, right? So I really want this cuz look, I am not an expert on philosophy or on Trinity or anything like that. I do the best I can, right? I hold my own, but I'm definitely not the best, okay? If you guys really want to know in-depth arguments and stuff about the Trinity, there's other people better than me, right? I like to keep it real simple, right? For the simple folk. Like, you guys are simple folk like me, you guys will love how I do it, right? But if you guys want deeper philosophical arguments, I'm not the guy to go. Somebody like Bryce would be the best guy to go to. So I want this stream to be edifying him, okay? Edifying him as to what he brings to the table because we all bring different strengths to the table, right? We all have our gifts and how we are to defend our faith and how all that stuff. So the stream on Saturday is a live reaction, but it is going to be us picking Bryce's brain. I say us, it's going to be me and Peace, but you guys too. I want the chat to really benefit from picking from his brain. We are picking his brain because we are going to do a Q&A at the end of it. I really want you guys to ask questions even while we're doing stuff. So anyways, I definitely want that to be the case. So make sure you guys, that's going to be Saturday, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on YouTube. It won't be on TikTok. It's only on YouTube. Okay? So anyways, all right, let's get up here. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube during the Knicks game, which is crazy, but whatever. All right, what's up?
All right. You ask a Muslim, why aren't you not a Christian, right?
Yeah, why you're not Christian?
Okay, let's speak logically, okay, without cursing, without saying anything, but with full of knowledge, right? I want to learn from you. You convince me, and I will accept it. If I convince you, you're going to accept it, okay?
All right.
All right. So, like, we actually, like, that the Muslim believe all miracle of Jesus Christ, may peace be upon him, is not even Jesus Christ, but Jesus, the son of Mary. Okay, we believe that. We're not gonna say, okay, he did not bring from the dead, or he did not heal the blind, or he did not heal that. We believe that. We also believe something very incredible, which is he molded the clay and put the soul into the clay with the power of God through Jesus, because he asked God, then God showed him the way, which is to guide people toward God. So we believe that he is a prophet of God. Okay, we believe that. Okay. Also, one thing I want to say, I want to ask you a question. Okay, very specific. Two questions. One about the Jonah in the well, and then I want to ask you about the Moses, or Musa alayhi salam, may peace be upon him too. So the question I have for you, right? I have one question from Musa first. Is Moses a god?
No.
Okay. Did Moses save people's life?
Did he what?
Did he save?
Oh, did he save people's lives? Yeah, Yahweh is the one that saved them from Egypt.
Like, but through who?
Oh, Moses was used, yes.
Yes, Moses was used. Okay. So actually, he saved the nation of the Israelites, right? Like from the Pharaoh?
He was an Israelite, yes.
Okay. Now we agree on that. Okay.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm falling asleep, bro. Can you bring an argument?
Okay. Hear me out, please.
I'm
When I
trying,
say-
but I'm falling asleep, bro. This is like,
Oh, okay.
it's too slow
The
for me,
question-
bro. Too slow. We gotta move quicker.
So another question I have is, what about can a tree become animal?
No,
How come God actually tell Moses to throw his staff or his stick to become a snake?
because it's a miracle.
It's a miracle of who?
God.
It's a miracle of God, right?
Yes.
Okay, similar thing. When Jesus was raised the dead, was it miracle? The miracle of God.
Yes.
So, like Jesus raising the dead, that dead can it make Jesus a God?
It's something that God can do too. Yeah. If God took on flesh, he would raise people from the dead. Yeah.
So for Moses, so when he throw his staff, and multiple time that staff become a snake, did God is the Moses God in that context?
No,
Why not? Because he just throw his staff and then he becomes a snake. After I have the power to
because
create
that miracle by itself doesn't prove he's God. Just like the miracles of Jesus don't prove by itself that he's God. We don't.
Thank you. Now-
Okay, good.
Now we,
What's
so
your
now we
argument though?
So my argument are actually, like many Christians say, Jesus is a God because that is a proof
No,
that
he
saying
is.
a
He
miracle
is
of
God.
God cannot
Not
make
a
Jesus
God. No, we don't believe he's a God. He is God. He's your God. He's your creator.
See, so did Jesus create Adam?
Yes.
Jesus created Adam.
Yes.
Was Adam created from a man and woman? Did Adam come from a man and woman?
No.
But the thing is, you're telling me actually Jesus created Adam because Adam actually was created from the clay. We know that, but then Jesus was from the woman's side, like he come from a woman. How come?
Jesus existed before he was born of Mary. Because he's God.
So, if you say the power of Jesus was existed before Jesus was created and Adam was created,
Jesus
I would
wasn't
take that one
created.
because that's a power. because
Jesus
that's a God
Jesus
power.
wasn't created. He's God. He's the creator.
Okay. Is Yahweh Jesus?
Yes.
Yahweh is a Jesus?
Jesus is Yahweh. Yes.
Jesus is Yahweh.
Yes.
Is Moses Yahweh?
No.
Why didn't you? Why didn't Jesus did not come during Moses' time? Why is not there?
Yeah, he was. He's the angel of the Lord.
So he was there, but like, how come Moses able to save people, but is not Jesus?
What? How come what?
How come Moses save people, the Israelite, but not Jesus?
Because Jesus is God. God saved the Israelites. And Moses did meet Jesus, the Son, through the angel, because he is the angel of the Lord.
Is God the angel?
The angel of the Lord, yes.
The angel. So basically, you're telling me the angel is God's too.
The angel is God. The angel of the Lord, yes.
The angel of the world, the Lord is the servant of God, not the angel is God in terms
you
of that.
you want me to prove it to you?
Like we are, when we say we are the children of
You
God,
want me to
when
prove
we
it to you?
say
You want me to prove it to
Jesus is the Son of God in terms of like understanding.
you? You want me to prove it to you?
Jesus belonged to God.
You want me to show
the
you that?
property
Do you
of
want me to
God.
show you that the angel of the Lord is God?
The angel of the Lord is not God.
You want me
but
to
they
show?
are
Do
the
you want me to
servant
show
of
you?
God.
Do you want me to
They
show you?
serve God.
Do you want me to show you that the angel of the Lord is God?
From where? From
the-
what source are you going to
The
show
Torah.
me?
The Torah.
So basically, you're telling me the angel is God. Show me where
The angel
where it
of the
say
Lord.
angel is God.
The angel of the
Look,
Lord is God. I'll show it to you in the Torah. Do you want me to show you?
look, the angel of the Lord mean the servant of the Lord is angel. That doesn't mean angel is God.
Do you want me to show you in the Torah that the angel of the Lord is God?
I want to go see it.
Yeah,
I
you
want
want
to see it.
Yeah, you want to see it? Okay, good. Do you have a
Yeah.
Bible with you?
I say from the Torah. I want like straight from Torah, not
Okay.
New Testament,
Do
Old
you have,
Testament
good.
like that.
Do you have a Torah with you?
Tell me the page and this. I got a computer with me.
Okay. Go to the Torah and open up to the book of Exodus, chapter 3.
The book. So the book of Exodus in Hebrew, right?
If you want. Do you read Hebrew?
I mean, like.
Do you read Hebrew?
Like,
Do you read Hebrew?
the thing is, the translation that like people.
Do you
want
do you
is
read
not- it's not
Hebrew?
about that.
Do you want to go to the Hebrew? Do you read
I
Hebrew?
want to go Hebrew and then I want to translate from
Okay.
Hebrew.
Okay.
source.
Can you translate Hebrew?
Thanks to the Sheikh Google.
All right, whatever. All right, so is it cool if we go to the English translation first, and then we can look to see if the Hebrew is saying the same thing?
I want to go straight to Hebrew and then translate it.
Yeah, let's do it the other way around, because for the audience sake, let's see what the English says first, and then you can check and see if it's a lie. Okay?
We'll come back to the English one. I want to go the Hebrew, bring it.
How about
translate
this?
it, and
How
then
about I
compare it.
bring you the Hebrew and the English together?
Torah is not corrupted.
Hey,
Go
focus, brother, focus. How about I bring you the Hebrew and the English together?
Okay. Let's see that. Okay.
All right,
Torah.
cool. Yeah. Torah. All right.
Torah scripture.
Yeah, Torah scripture. All right, here we go. Let's all right, cool. We're gonna read Exodus chapter 3, verses 2 to 4.
Okay. Exodus. Let me see. Okay.
All right, here we go. Let me share it with the YouTube.
What is YouTube?
YouTube, you don't know YouTube?
Let's.
Hey,
let's
YouTube,
say,
bro. YouTube. It's that little app
Exodus.
that you get to watch videos. YouTube. You don't know what YouTube is?
I have no idea about YouTube.
You don't know YouTube? Oh man. All right. Here we go. You should watch YouTube, man. YouTube is good. YouTube, very good.
Exodus and
Very
Torah,
good. Very good. Very good. All right, here we go. Let me get this out the way. Okay.
Very good. Yeah.
Very good, YouTube. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm not cherry picking though.
All right.
Okay, let's say.
And
Okay, go
appeared
ahead.
the angel of Yahweh to him in a flame from the midst of the fire of the bush. Okay, so the angel of the Lord, Yahweh, appeared from the midst of the bush. Okay?
Wait, hold on. Did it say like the angel of Yahweh?
Yes. Who's Yahweh?
Okay. You hear what he say? The angel of the Yahweh.
Exactly. Okay. Now this is where we're pointing out. This is the angel of Yahweh. Now I'm going to prove that he's God. But
the
you see,
human of the Yahweh.
good,
The
and
animal of
he
the
is, and he appears from the midst of the fire of the bush. Correct? Okay. Good.
Okay.
All right. Now let's go. This is where Moses meets him. Okay. And said Moses, I will turn aside and see sight. Great this, why not does the bush burn? Okay, cool. Now we're going to verse 4. And it says, so when Moses saw that Yahweh to look, he turned aside and then called to him. So Yahweh called to him. And where did he call him from? From the midst of the bush. So God was calling him from the midst of the bush. But who was in the midst of the bush?
Oh, wait. Can you repeat that part? You said like Yahweh was called.
Yahweh called Moses
Mm-hmm.
from the midst of the bush.
So basically, God is calling Moses from the bush.
Who's in the bush?
The angel of God.
But I thought God is calling him from the midst of the bush.
Wait, did God call himself from the bush?
God is calling Moses from the bush. Who is in the bush in verse 2?
Look, the verse saying Yahweh was calling. So first of all, like the angel of the God is in the bush. Okay.
Yeah, and then it says here that God was calling him from the midst of the bush.
Who said that again? Can you
Right,
repeat
verse
from
4, God
Uh-huh.
is in the midst of the bush. So the verse 2 says the angel of the Lord is in the midst of the bush. Verse 4 says God is in the midst of the bush.
This contradicting.
It's contradicting to you,
No,
or hold on. It's either contradicting or God is multiple persons.
So it is contradicting.
Trinity
because how
or
can
Trinity,
God call
it's
himself-
contradicting or Trinity is true. One or the other.
No. Trinity is not true.
Your Quran confirms this verse, by the way. You know that?
Show me in the Quran where it say.
Oh, you want me to show you where it confirms it?
Yeah.
Habibi, no problem. I'll show you. Okay? Good. Can
I
you
mean,
go?
it's-
Can you go
I'm saying
to?
confirming the Jews and the Christians. Yes.
No, confirming the Torah. The Torah. The Torah.
We don't confirm everything about.
You have to,
both
Habib.
sides.
Oh, Habibi, watch out. You have to. Because
No,
according to your
we don't
Quran,
confirm that.
according to your
Not
Quran,
everything.
I'll
It
show you.
didn't say
Don't worry,
everything.
brother. I'll show you, okay? Let me show you first the verse, and then you can hold that argument. Save it right up here, okay? Save it right in your brain, okay? Because I want you to bring that argument after I show you this. Because after I show you this, I want you to be like, no, this doesn't confirm the whole thing. It only confirms some of it and rejects the rest. I want you to say that, okay? So remember that, okay? All right,
Is
Habibi.
that what the Jews
Habibi,
believe? That's the
Habibi,
question
hold on, Habibi, okay? Here we go.
Mhm.
Although, this is talking about the Jews during the time of Muhammad. Although they used to pray for victory by means of the prophet over the polytheists, when there came to them a book from Allah, that's the Quran, which they recognized confirming the scripture, the Torah, they had in their hands. They rejected it, so may Allah's condemnation be upon the disbelievers. Does it say it's confirming the Torah?
Let me explain to you first. So first of all, the Injil. There's no Bible. Bible means a book only book. Okay.
Is it
Injil
confirming
is
the Torah?
name of
Is it
gospel? Okay.
is it
No,
confirming the
hold on.
Torah?
Gospel is from
I
God.
don't care about the gospel. I want to know about the Torah.
And Torah is from God. We believe that's a belief of God. Okay, but then when it say confirming between Jews and Christians, even if it say judge between them, that doesn't mean everything that they say is the true.
Oh,
Rather, hold on. Rather, the book comes that saying there is true. Yes, there is Injil, but the Injil was misinterpreted. That's why Quran comes to tell you.
Absa, stop right there.
existed.
Absa, stop. I'm not talking about the Injil. I'm talking about the Torah. This is confirming the Torah, correct?
Confirming the Torah. Okay.
Yes?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So the Torah at this time has Exodus chapter 3 verse 2 to 4. Those verses I just read was in the Torah during the time of Muhammad. So your Quran confirms those verses that you say is a contradiction.
I have a question for you, actually.
Can you answer
Personal
can
opinion.
you agree
Hold
or
on.
disagree with this?
No, I agree. Even for Injil, there are scripture that we confirm and we stay firm on that scripture, on the same some words that we're not gonna say you guys are lying. So we take it what is true and the Quran confirms. We're not gonna say the Injil or the gospel is wrong.
Okay.
And the same thing, hold on, the same thing for the Torah is similar, okay? But I want to ask you a question, okay?
No, hold on. I want to understand what you just said. So you're saying it's not confirming the whole thing, or it is?
No, for this, I don't want to put my word in it. I don't want to add my word or take a word from it. I will just leave that way.
Okay. So who cares about what you just said? Then who cares about what you said about the interpretation? All right. Who cares what you said about the interpretation? This is confirming the Torah during the time of Muhammad.
Confirm, okay.
This is confirming the Torah during the time of Muhammad. And we know that the Torah during the time of Muhammad has Exodus chapter 3, verses 2 to 4. We know that.
Okay.
So,
Confirm, okay,
are
we
you
take
saying that Allah is confirming scriptures that are contradictions?
No, hold on. Let me just pull something out because that is the only way we can agree. When we say in New and Old Testament, this, like you taking the word, you just flip it and telling me that's the Torah. Of course, like there's no New Testament at all.
Dude, what are you talking about, bro? Are you saying Exodus is not in the Torah?
I'm not saying that. That's why I'm just trying to ask you a question. What does a Jew believe? That you believe like there is two gods?
Yes, the Jews before Christ believed there was one God, but he was multi-personal. Yes, the Jews always believed that, even Moses.
Okay, so the Jews before who?
Before Christ was born, they always believed that God was multi-personal, but one God. Because it's in the Torah.
So, you're actually giving the name that they don't even have. They are monotheistic, pure monotheistic.
Yeah. You know, when did the word monotheistic come?
So
when was that word invented? Do you know?
So one thing I want to say again, please.
When was that word invented, bro? Do you know?
Monotheistic means like one God.
I know that
like
word was invented in like the 12th century.
Okay.
It didn't exist during the time of Jesus or before, or during the time of Muhammad. It didn't exist either.
Okay. One thing I want to say, when you say like a personality of God, right? You said like a Jew believe like one God with a two personality, right? His attribute, right? His attribute, a God have a many personality, because one is God is loving. When we say God is loving, that his attribute show that God is loving. He cares. God is merciful. That is part of it. Okay, that's part of personality. Love is part of personality.
Brother, I don't care about none of this, bro. Does your Quran confirm it? Does your Quran confirm it? Yes or no?
Now I agree by confirming. Yes, I agree on that. I'm not denying the confirmation, because at the same time, like I'm telling you, from the Torah, it's not only Torah, even from the Injil or Gospel, if there is something in it, and also at the same time, like it's not contradicting the Torah and it's not contradicting the Quran, and then at the same time we confirm it. There's nothing that we against.
Yeah, here's the problem, bro. Here's the problem. You're confirming a book that contradicts the Quran, bro.
No. Again.
The Quran confirms books that contradicts the Quran. So this is why your religion is false, bro.
No, listen again. What I say. When it comes to God, like the God personality I'm talking, and of course God have a power. His word, the word is something itself is a power. Kun fayakun. It's talk about that. Be as it is, things become.
Bro.
But
You're changing the topic, bro, respectfully, bro. Like we're talking about the confirmation of the Torah within your Quran.
Again, I say, I confirm, I move on from that part.
Right, but
I
then
confirm.
okay,
because
good.
there's
So then
nothing
if
that-
your book, okay, good. Then if your book, if you concede to that, that means your Quran confirms a book that goes against the Quran, which means that your religion is false.
No. It's not against the Quran. It's like the word that man put inside of the books and then lie about it. That's we.
Yeah, well
deny.
then your
And we don't-
Allah confirms it. That's a problem.
No, the thing is again. Let's focus on the topic. This is the problem. When
All
we
right.
say
Absa, look, I'm going to stop right here because we're going around in circles. I don't think you're understanding my argument, to be honest with you. I'm going to move on to another guest, but you're welcome to come back another day, okay?
I agree with the guy.
See you later, brother. All right. Hey, Christian, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. No heretic car crash today. No heretic car crash today. For those of you that don't know, we had somebody on the live yesterday literally laugh at the Trinity. And while he was presenting his argument against the Trinity, I guess he was driving, we hear a boom, and then somebody crashed into his car. So hilarious. I'll probably clip it today and put it on TikTok and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what he means by the heretic car crash. Guys, don't forget to follow Peace, who's on the panel now. She's on the panel, so make sure you follow her on the Tiki Taki. All right, next guest.
Everly,
Can you turn the music off, please?
there should not be a title to a religion. Catholic.
All right, bro. Come back when you ain't playing like I don't know, like Barry White or whatever you're playing. 90s R&B. What's up? Oh wait, he didn't load up. What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, sure. I didn't hear you at first.
No problem. What's up?
Okay. I have a topic at hand, but I heard you also speak to the brother before, even though his English is not very good. Mine is also not very good, but his was a little bit rusty. So we can talk about the Islamic dilemma after I answer you. I am not a Christian. Is that okay?
Sure.
Excellent. So I'm not a Christian because Christianity is actually based on foundations that are actually polytheistic, like the Trinity, and we actually have discovered that the Trinity actually comes in a long way in form of ancient Egyptian mythology, like in Osiris and Horus or Amun or Rayamta. There's similar doctrines found in these ancient Egyptians mythologies are actually the same ones found in Christianity.
Wow. Okay, so if I find something that's the same from a pagan religion in Islam, that means you guys are pagan too, huh?
Well, a core doctrine? Or are you talking about simple practice?
Or just anything in Islam. If I find anything in Islam that you guys like, how about like a core story? If I find a story, so no, hold on. If I find a story that comes directly from pagans, right? Then that means you guys are pagans too, right?
Yeah, sure. If it's a core doctrine, I accept 100%.
It doesn't need to be a core doctrine. Just a story about one of your prophets. How about a story from one of your prophets? How about if I show you a story about one of your prophets that is directly plagiarized from pagans? Would that mean you're pagans?
Muslims, why are you not?
What if I? No, I'm just. That's no worry, bro. Listen, hey, Barry. Nobody's running away. I'm actually dealing with your argument directly. What I'm showing and demonstrating. You got to. Hey, Barry, bro. You're not gonna last long if you're not gonna have a conversation, bro. It's just not gonna. You're just not gonna last long. I don't want to have to do this to you, but I can move on to the next guest. If you're not willing to have a conversation and listen to what I'm presenting, which I'm about to show you, I'm about to demonstrate what I'm doing, and then you can respond. But if we're not going to have a conversation, bro, you can just leave. So what I'm not running from the argument. What I'm doing is by asking that question is showing that you have an inconsistency on your criteria. Because what you're saying is that just because we can find similarities to something that's different, to a different religion, therefore that's where it comes from. If I take that same criteria and apply it to you, if I find any similarities to you and a different religion, even if, like, for example, something being directly plagiarized, then I can then say you guys are pagans too, off of that criteria. Now, I wouldn't bring that argument, but that's what you're bringing to me, and you would have to be inconsistent if you were to deny that.
Are you done?
Go ahead, respond to what I'm saying. If you don't respond to what I'm saying, then we're done. Yeah.
I respectfully listen to you, brother. And
But if it, no worries. But if you, but real quick, just to note, just so you know, Barry, 1 second,
having a
1 sec,
core-
one,
core
1 second, 1 second, brother,
belief.
1 second, 1
That's
second,
pagan,
1
it's not
second, 1 second, bro, 1 second. Yeah, there's a lag for sure. So, just to let you know, you can say that there's not a direct like thing to the doctrine. Right? If I find anything according to your criteria that is directly tied to anything, like for example, Jesus is tied to your doctrine, to your belief. If I find anything that is related to Jesus in your books that are related to pagans, then the criteria fits. But go ahead.
Okay, sure. You call me off, and I respectfully still let you finish speaking. There's a difference between a core doctrine and certain practices, because I know what you're gonna say, but also this is further from the point, because if you prove to me anything core doctrinal in Islam that actually goes back to pagan practices, I'm 100% sure I'll accept your argument and say, okay, sure, this is a double standard. But I'm giving you the Trinity, which is a core belief in your religion, and it's not about similarities. It's totally every single detail.
It's not.
of it.
Show me one pagan religion that has. Go ahead. Show me one pagan religion that has exactly identical every detail to the Trinity. Go ahead. No. Show it to me. Bring the evidence. Bring the evidence.
Okay,
Show it.
sure. Excellent.
Go ahead.
Okay, excellent. Perfect. Now let's start in simple evidence, as in I can name you books if you want.
Hold on, before you name the
for you
books,
to read,
before you
or I
name the
can just-
books, just to make sure we don't go down a rabbit hole of you misrepresenting us. How about you articulate to us what our belief of the Trinity is? Go ahead.
Okay, the belief of the Trinity is that there is one God who is manifested in three persons who are co-equal, co-eternal. Did I say anything wrong?
Are the persons identical to each other?
Yeah, that's what you guys believe.
Okay, no, that's not what we believe. So you don't even understand what our Trinity is. So now this whole thing gets thrown. Now we do, thank God I asked this question, because now we don't get to waste our time, because you don't even understand what the Trinity is. Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Do you mean it?
Please be quiet. I'm glad I asked this question, because now we don't have to waste time of you bringing up books and talking about this and that, because the only way you can properly identify, Barry, can you please stop talking? I'm gonna mute you. If you unmute, I'm gonna put you in the comments, because I'm gonna finish what I'm saying. Thank you. So here's the thing. In order for you to properly make the argument that the Trinity is 100% identical to other pagan religions, then you would need to first have a full understanding of what the Trinity is in order to properly assess that. What I just asked you from 2 or 3 questions, I just demonstrated that you don't know 100% in detail what the Trinity is. So therefore, you are not qualified to even assess if we are perfectly identical to these other pagan doctrines. So completely disqualified now. So it doesn't matter what you bring, what books you bring, or whatever the hell it is that you're talking. You don't even know what the Trinity is.
Are you done?
Yeah, bro. So
Okay.
argument done.
Sure.
Do you want to talk about your belief now?
I tried to clarify what you tried to ask me. You said, are they identical? I asked in nature because I said yes. I thought you meant in nature. Don't you guys believe that they're all powerful, or do you believe that?
I asked if the persons
there's-
are identical to each other. That's what I asked.
No, the persons are not identical to each other.
What are
I
they?
misunderstood.
What are they?
What do you mean? What are they?
If they're not identical, what are they?
I'm not a Trinity scholar. What do you mean?
Then,
what are
thank
they?
you. Thank you for now disqualifying yourself again. If you don't know the Trinity, then you're not even qualified to make this assessment.
Brother. The topic is Muslims. Why are you not a Christian?
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to present my evidence, and you're supposed to refute me.
Yeah, but you don't even know what the Trinity is, bro. You don't even know what the Trinity
Then
is.
this is where you correct me. This is where you correct me.
Brother,
This is where you correct
okay,
me.
so do you agree?
I'm gonna
Do you
give you
agree?
ancient
Hold on.
Egyptian-
Do you agree then that you don't fully know the Trinity?
Yeah, I have no problem admitting
Then
that.
okay, good. So if you don't fully know the Trinity, then there's no way you could have properly, definitively said that these ancient pagan religions are identical to the Trinity if you don't even know what it is.
Okay.
So
here's
your
the double
argument now
standard in what you said.
fails. You actually disqualify yourself.
Listen. So here's a double standard in what you actually just claimed. Did your early church fathers understand the Trinity the same way as you do today?
Yes.
That's false.
Okay. Who cares what you think?
That-
Now, what is your?
Who cares, bro?
Who cares what you think?
just refuted yourself.
No, I
You
didn't.
just refuted yourself.
What did I refute myself on? What? Because I don't agree with you? That's a refutation to myself?
Allah Akbar. Bro, you just said that you have to fully understand the core doctrine of the Trinity for me to actually criticize it. Is that your point?
No, not to criticize it. For you to definitively say that the pagan religions, because this was your claim earlier, are perfectly identical to the Trinity in every detail. But you yourself have admitted that you don't know the Trinity fully in every detail.
Would you consider some of your church fathers to be heretics? Because if you are actually criticizing me for not knowing the Trinity fully as how you define it,
This is
today,
a different argument, bro.
consider
This
some of
is
your church fathers to be
this is a
heretics?
different argument. Are you conceding that your argument of pagan religions being perfectly identical to the Trinity is out now?
I'm gonna bring
Then
you
stay
my
there. Then
argument.
tell me
Bring me
how.
evidence,
Then go
and
ahead.
you're
Then I
gonna
want you
refute
to respond. I want you to respond because you're shifting to a different argument. I want you to respond to what I just said. What I'm claiming right now is that you are not, by your own admission, you are not qualified in order to identify that these pagan religions are perfectly identical to the Trinity in every detail because you yourself have admitted you don't know the Trinity. Now, that's my claim.
Okay.
Can you refute that claim?
How about I present you my case, and you tell me if this doesn't sound like Christianity?
I don't know what that has to do with the response to what I just said. Can you respond to my claim?
Habibi, listen.
Can you respond to my claim? Do you agree with me? Hold on, brother. Barry, we're not shifting the argument. I made a claim. Either you agree with me. If you agree with me, you concede. Or if you don't agree with me, you're allowed to, but present an argument as to why you don't agree with what I just said. Go ahead.
I do not agree with what you said because the topic on the live is Muslims. Why are you not a Christian? So I'm supposed to give you my case, and you're supposed.
Watch your hair, bro. See you later. I don't agree with you because I can say what I want, even though what I want is irrelevant. I just disqualified myself. You're supposed to bring an argument. This is not like an interview, bro, where I'm actually like trying to interview to get your opinion. Like this is not, hey, come up on my panel. I want to hear your opinion. When I ask, why are you not a Christian? I expect for people to bring an argument. Your argument was that the Trinity is perfectly identical. It's identical in every detail to pagan beliefs in the past. But then you admit multiple times that you don't know the Trinity in every detail. Therefore, you are not qualified to even make the argument to begin with by your own admission. That's my claim. If you agree with me, then that's no longer an argument anymore. You could bring a new one and you concede. If you don't agree with me, then you need to bring evidence as to why you are credible to bring this argument, and I'm willing to listen. But all you said was, I can do this because you asked me why I'm not a Christian. I'm not interested in your opinions, bro. Sorry if you misunderstood the question. Not interested in your opinions. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the super chat. Psalm 51, thank you for the $5 super chat. Please remember the Theotokos. When speaking about the crucifixion, she was standing there. Amen. The holy and great Theotokos, our mother, the Virgin Mary, was at the cross witnessing her son get unalived and tortured. Yes, absolutely. The holy and blessed Theotokos. Pray for us. Appreciate it, Psalm 51. And my man, The Word and I. Guys, if you guys don't follow The Word and I, please go follow The Word and I. He has a YouTube. Obviously, he's on TikTok, but he streams on both. And if you guys are not entertained by The Word and I's lives, I don't know what to tell you, man. He has a different style than other people, but he knows he really knows how to bring on a panel and organize chaos. And trust me, he brings some crazy guests. Okay, so he knows how to organize chaos. He's an amazing host, and he brings heavy hitters on a consistent basis on his panel, and knows how to like organize the debates where it's easy to listen to. Whereas you have other people try to do the same thing on panels and host it, and it turns into chaos. It's like it's hard to listen to, but he does an amazing job on that. So make sure you guys follow Word and I on his YouTube. Just click on his link right there, or somebody, one of my mods, find his link to his YouTube and go ahead and put it in the chat. But $5 super chat from The Word and I. Appreciate it. God bless you, Brother Bear. Keep cooking. Will do, brother. Thank you so much for the support, man. I really appreciate it. Mods, if somebody can find the link for his YouTube for me, please, and put it in the chat. I really appreciate it. Longinus, what's up, brother? You got a backup account. You got bananaed. Okay, no worries, brother. I got you. If you need mod for this, that's okay. We'll put you on mod or something. Anyways, yeah, guys. I mean, I'm not interested in people's opinions. Like, well, I'm not a Muslim because I don't like Christianity. That's not what I'm interested in when I ask why are you not a Christian. I want you to bring an argument as to why you're not a Christian, like an actual argument. I'm not interested in all that. He seemed like he was going to bring an argument, but then disqualified himself. So, anyways, what's up?
Hey, what's up? What's going on, man?
How you doing?
How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Listen, I just had a couple questions. I'm a new Muslim myself, so I don't consider myself an op or anything like that to nobody. I just, have a very diverse family too as well. Got a lot of Christians in my family, a couple of Jews. Just want to know, what Bible do you read from now? Like, what's the version of the Bible you read from now?
I read different translations, bro. So.
Okay, different translations. All right, cool. Which one is like, so I can, because my wife is Christian, I'm Muslim, so, she's starting to, like be a little bit curious about stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to convert her or anything like that. I actually came to Islam. It took me 30 years to take my Shahada. So
how long ago did you take the Shahada?
About a month ago.
Whew, you're still early, bro. Hopefully the noose is not darkened, bro. Hopefully the noose is not darkened.
Listen. I'm not here to, I'm just curious about stuff because I know a lot of Christians want to talk to Muslims and Muslims want to talk to Christians. And sometimes when you are a new Christian, even if you are a new Christian, you can get bombarded with so much information. When you're a new Muslim, you can get bombarded with so much information.
Well, let me ask you this, bro. What led you to believe that Islam is actually true? What was the main reason? I'm sure there's many reasons, but what would be...
Last moments of my father's death, I was by his bedside. And I hadn't really thought about Islam for years because I actually, like back in the day, I'm older than you. So back in the day, the dawah wasn't how the dawah is now. You had to be on the streets. And back in the day, in my neighborhood, you had the 5% Nation of Islam, you had the Christians, you had the Muslims, you had everybody on the streets. Nobody was online. And it was, the adjective I would use was aggressive. It was very, very aggressive. So, for me, it just made sense at that time. It was just in my heart, something that called me. and that's why I went.
So
and
Wolf,
I don't knock anybody for.
Wolf, sorry to cut you off, bro. But real quick, just so we can get to it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, and I don't mean this in like, in a disrespectful way. Trust me, I mean this most respectful as possible.
I'm not disrespecting either. I'm a grown man.
Yeah,
but
I know you're not. I'm just saying I'm not going to mean what I'm going to say in a disrespectful way. Okay,
Yeah,
but I'm not really interested in your personal experience. Not that your personal experience doesn't matter. But for the purpose of this conversation, we want to stick to things that are facts, and not that your personal experience is not a fact, but it could be interpreted as just an experience. It's anecdotal. It's not really good for argumentation. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to.
Listen,
Can I ask him a question? Really
Yeah, go ahead.
quick.
Yeah.
It's similar. It's similar to what he asked. So maybe it's just like rephrased or something. So that way he can get the information that he wants. What you said, it was a month ago that you took the Shahada, right? And I'm sure it wasn't just like overnight.
No.
But when you made the decision, okay, like this is the true religion, I want to serve the one true God. What was the determining factor that convinced you that Islam is the true religion and that Allah is the one true God?
It was something I can't explain to you. It's something that if I try to explain to you, I'll be lying to you.
Is it pure experiential, or do you have information?
It was in my heart. It was in my heart. It was in my heart.
Okay.
And listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know your name. I apologize. My real name is Wolf. So, so basically, listen. My brother went to school to be a pastor. He has his own church right now. So it's not like we haven't been around. We've been around. You know what I'm saying? My sister. She does, I think she's more orthodox now. I want to say, like, she's been getting more into that now. So we have a very diverse group, but it's something that if people try to explain it to you, like, I feel like if you follow Jesus and Jesus is the one true God, I don't got no problem with that. I'm not here to whatever case may be. I'm just here trying to learn. But if people tell you all the time, yo, this is what it's a feeling that I can't even explain. Like, it's a feeling like when you be with Jesus, it's like feeling like people try to put an adjective on it, and it's really no adjective to put on it. Like, you just feel how you feel.
So real quick, Wolf. I got what you're saying. Okay, and
listen,
that's cool.
I'm not trying to hold up the stream because I know you guys.
No. This is good. This is good. I want you to hear where I'm coming from. Okay, because I want you to see. I'm going to challenge you to think about something a little bit. Okay, so here, I understand what you're saying. That people.
Just one more thing. If I didn't want to be challenged, I wouldn't have clicked the link. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you. No, bro. It's all cool. Yeah, it's good. I appreciate you coming. So, all right. So that being said, right? Like, I just want you to think about this. All right.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying as far as like we all conclude to different things, and you're going to respect people's decisions. There's nothing wrong with what you said there. Okay. However. It's not true to assume that every one of our decisions, let's just use Christianity and Islam as an example, these two decisions, it cannot be true that both are 100% correct. It just cannot be true. One of them has to either be false or both have to be false. That's the only thing that is logical that can possibly happen, right?
Man, if they both false, we both in trouble.
Well, I agree with you, okay? But for the sake of argument, I think you and I agree that it's one of these two, okay?
Right.
So one of them has to be false. They both can't be true, okay? It just wouldn't logically follow. So what I'm asking you is, what evidence or facts, other than your feelings, because feelings, I think you would agree, are deceptive. They could, just because you feel something is right doesn't make it right. Because Christians feel like they're right. Muslims feel like they're right, but one of them has to be wrong, which either way, a feeling of a person led them to something that's incorrect. Okay, so feelings are not evidence, right? Because feelings can be mistaken. So we got to put feelings to the side. That's not going to help us here. Between Islam and Christianity, what evidence do you have that makes Islam true other than Christianity?
Well, for me, it's just I believe in God alone. I don't believe I need to go to a church or confess my sins. I believe that I ask for forgiveness through God and God alone. That's what I believe. Now,
Yeah, but based on what though? That's just your that's just your opinion,
but
right?
again,
on what?
so let me tell you this, right? If I can't tell you anything like that because I'm not qualified to tell you nothing outside of that, I can tell you about how I feel because if I know I'm in danger, then I'm gonna react. I'm not gonna apologize. I'll apologize after. I'm gonna react 1st. You see what I'm saying? So I can tell you about that. I can't tell you.
But Wolf,
about,
no, I'm not trying to say you're not qualified. I'm not challenging your qualification.
I'm not. Yeah.
What I'm telling Wolf.
You're trying to tell me something. You're trying to ask me something that number one, I'm still in the midst of studying. The young lady asked me a question that I told her if I would answer you that, then I would be lying to the lady that just asked me the question.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so if you don't have the answer, if you don't have the answer, that's okay.
I'm not trying to trip you up. I'm just I just got online.
Look, I got you, brother. Hey,
I
Wolf.
wanted to know what Bible you really go through because again, I want to be able to talk to my mom. You know, my mom and stuff like that, and even with my dad passing away was a very traumatizing thing for her because of the fact that everybody was scared. And I done lost people before, so it was like on some street stuff. But
Wolf, I got you. Look, listen,
yeah.
I got you.
Where you guys from?
Yeah, we're both from Jersey, but
you guys from Jersey? Okay, so I'm from Patterson.
Okay, well there you go. There you go. You ain't far from us. But look.
Okay, so you know, so you already
on
know.
the East Coast.
Okay, so you basically.
So Wolf, real quick, 1 second.
In the 90s,
Wolf, 1 second, brother.
You know what time it was. But
Wolf,
anyway,
1 second, bro. Okay, look, I got you on what you're saying. Okay, but the thing is, if you're going to say, well, I believe in one God, right?
Yeah.
If we believe in one God, then that's what I believe. You need to substantiate that. Otherwise, we're going back to what I originally said. You're going off of your personal experience now, or your personal beliefs now.
The challenge, and I'll come.
You need to have now. Here's what I'm saying though. Okay, if you don't have objective evidence, you only have personal experience. Okay, that's fine. Like it's just that you don't have. Even if I tell you what Bible to read, you're not in a position to even argue Islam to a Christian because you can't provide any evidence.
I'm not trying to argue though. I didn't care. I just said what Bible.
Right, because you want to talk to your family though.
That's all I said. So if I came to say, yo, listen, like this, that, and third, I'm not trying to convince you of anything, bro. I just said, yo, listen, what do you guys, what kind of stuff do you guys read so I can pick up some stuff as well? You know what I'm saying? So
for what reason?
So I can come back. So you gave me a challenge, and hopefully I can come back, right? And meet that challenge, right? Because that's how people have better conversations. I'm not with insulting any Christian.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
My mother is 6 feet deep. That's basic. You know what I mean? That's basic. You know what I mean? And my mother's a Christian. She got the rosary beads and everything. Anybody assaulted a Muslim come through, it's gonna be problems. It don't matter if you whatever. You see what I'm saying? So you gave me a challenge, and hopefully I can come back and meet the challenge with substantial evidence.
Okay, now, yeah, absolutely. Now I'm gonna leave you with one more. I'm gonna leave you with one more thing. Okay.
Listen, grown men have grown conversations, no matter how they look at things. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not one of these guys that's gonna come up here and try to be something that I'm not.
Okay.
Nah.
So Wolf, one more thing. One more thing, Wolf. One more thing before I let you go. Okay. I do want to challenge you on something called the Islamic dilemma. Okay, so you would have.
I've seen that.
Okay, good. So are you aware of the argument?
I have not been aware of the argument, but I've seen certain people argue it, and I've seen certain things. I haven't really tapped into it. You know, I'm in school full time. I have a full time job. You know what I'm saying? I'm running around. You know what I'm saying? I got a 26-year-old. And I got a 9-year-old, so you know my life is hectic. It's real, but I will look into it further. But I do want to come back and try to substantiate the challenge that you have given to me.
Okay, no worries. You can do that. Look, if you have time to look into stuff, you have time to look into the Islamic dilemma. Okay. At the end of the day, if the Islamic dilemma is true, then your religion is false.
Okay, so sounds great. Anyway, listen, man, great to talk to you guys. Great to talk to you guys. Go New York Knicks. Let's go.
I agree with you on that. Yes.
Okay.
Go Knicks.
See how we agree on something? Go New York Knicks. You see that?
All right, man. Take it easy, bro.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Take it easy.
Knicks in 7. All right. What's up? What's up?
Yeah, good. So your prompt is, why are you not Christian?
Yeah. Are you Muslim?
Yes.
Okay. Why are you not Christian?
Well, I believe Islam teaches pure monotheism. I believe Christianity in the books they're not preserved properly. I believe there are contradictions found within the book, within the different gospels. I believe. What else do I believe? I mean, yeah, even these reasons would be enough. And also, obviously, if I'm saying why I'm a Muslim, for example, I would appeal to the challenges set within the Quran that it can't be replicated, that will always be preserved, that there are miracles found within it that can't be explained. There's many prophecies of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay. You do understand that the concept of pure monotheism is illogical, right?
What do you mean?
It's just like when you mean by pure, just to be clarified your position before I assume, you mean by pure monotheism that your God is one, necessarily one, and he's not multi-personal like the Trinity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that concept is illogical. There's no way that your God can be that and actually be the creator. It's not possible.
So it's impossible for God to be one then?
One person, yes, it's not possible.
Yeah, but you believe yourself that Jesus is a whole God. So if he can be God individually, then what's wrong with being a unipersonal God?
Okay, I'll show you why. Because you agree that if there's something contradictory in that, right? That if within your God's nature there's any contradictions, that your God cannot exist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not fluent in philosophy, but yeah, you can.
Yeah, this is not deep philosophy, bro. This is just.
I mean, in general, you'd have a natural inclination to say, okay, something can be one in God. Like, it doesn't. Someone who's all powerful doesn't need.
Yeah, no. Look, I would agree with you that on the surface, right, saying that there's only one God. I'm not saying that's illogical.
Yeah, but you're gonna go into philosophy. But 1 second, like one thing I can appeal to always is, okay, if you're saying that the Old Testament taught a triune God, then there would be a group of people, right, that would believe in a triune God. But you cannot name me a group of people from that time that believed in anything triune. In fact, I can argue that even your church fathers, they didn't believe in the same model of Trinity as you.
Yeah. No, that's incorrect for both. The Jews did believe that God was multi-personal, but he was still one God.
Can you name me the name of the?
Yeah. You can look into what's his name? Philo of Alexandria. He was a Jewish philosopher who looked into that. You could look into.
Wait, just one by one, please, because I want to actually search the name. So you said
Philo, Philo, Philo. Philo.
Phillo.
He's an ancient philosopher that looked into this. There was debates on this because of the two powers in heaven. There's a guy named Alan Siegel. He's more of a modern scholar.
Just one by one. I'm just gonna clarify this one.
Clarify what, bro? I don't got time for you to sit here and clarify. If you want to write it down and look it up later and refute me, you can. But I'm not going to sit here and wait till you Google this stuff. You wanted me to give you sources? I'll gladly give it to you, so you look it up.
There wasn't a group of people, especially.
Yeah, you're assuming that if you wanna take down the people that I tell you, and then look it up later. I'm not going to sit here on the stream wait for you.
One simple search of this guy literally just proved otherwise. But anyway,
whatever, bro. Yeah, you can come back later and provide everything that you search. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know. Look, we're going to go back to your God being illogical. Okay, but I'm going to give you the sources. You can go research it and then come back and refute me if you like. Okay. So you can look up Alan Siegel as well. Alan. Siegel, Sigel, I believe is how you spell it. You should be able to find it. He wrote a book called Two Powers in Heaven. This was like in like the 70s. Okay, so he's a modern scholar, Orthodox Jew.
70? Are you talking about BC?
No, you're talking about he's a modern scholar.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Why you? I'm literally asking you. Name me a group of Jews, right? Who the book was revealed to.
Hey, brother. Hey. Hold on, bro. Hold on.
That the Old Testament taught a triune God.
Because the group of people are the Jews. Okay, so I'm giving you scholars that studied the Jews even before Christ. Of this was their belief. This idea of pure, strict monotheism didn't come until after Christianity. until after the Talmud, and preferably when Rambam, the rabbi, he is the one that brought this idea of strict monotheism, which was much later on after Christianity. You can laugh all you want, but you can look it up and then refute me if you want.
It's alarming to me the fact that you genuinely advocate for associating partners with God.
Okay, good. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you why. We're gonna get to that. Okay. Now, you wanted the sources. I'm gonna give you. You could do Alan Siegel, and then if you want a modern day scholar today, two more modern day scholars. Okay, it'll be David Boyarin, who is a Jew, and then Peter Schaefer. Okay, so you could look up those guys. They've done extensive studies on the belief of the Jews even prior to Christianity on this issue. Now, you can come back and tell me.
Can I name you a group of Jews that believe in monotheism and also quote you some of their work?
No, I'm not really interested in that. Okay, now let me show you why your God is illogical. Okay, so your God is just one person that's necessary for pure monotheism, correct?
Yeah, he's one person, yes.
Okay, good. Now, you do believe in your belief that God is the most loving, correct?
Yeah, he possesses the attributes of being most loving, yes.
Okay, cool. Now, real quick, I'm just going to address the chat. Chat, remember what I said earlier. Every time I bring this, they chuckle, right? But then watch what happens, okay? All right, so is he the eternally the most loving? Forever. He was always the most loving.
Yeah, he doesn't have to actualize his attributes, but yes, he does possess the attributes eternally.
We'll get to that, okay? But he is eternally the most loving, correct?
Yeah, he possesses the attributes of being most loving eternally.
Yeah, he always possessed the attribute. All right, no worries. So then, who was he loving before creation?
Yeah, he doesn't have to actualize his attributes of loving.
Okay, good. So you're saying
in time.
So you're saying he wasn't loving anybody before creation?
Yeah, but he can still be loving without anything to love.
Okay, good. Who would he love?
I just told you, you can have the attributes of something. For example, your God has the attributes of mercy, but before creation, he didn't have anyone to show mercy to.
Yeah. I'm granting that to you, that he has the attribute, right? But to be the most loving for eternally, right? For eternity, that means he would be actualizing it, right? Can he actualize it without creation?
No, he doesn't have to be actualizing.
Okay, good.
An attribute.
Is he capable of actualizing it without creation?
Is he capable of... no, if there's nothing to love, then he's not capable of...
So then does he need creation to actualize it?
Does he need... Yes, that doesn't entail that he's dependent on creation.
Okay, so then what does need mean? What does need mean? You just said he needs it. What does it mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, because actualizing something, for example, the attributes of speaking, God always has, right? It's eternal to him. But the actual words that come out after he speaks, they don't have to be eternal. They can be actualized in time, temporally. Same way, this attribute can be actualized in time, right? And it wouldn't be a contradiction.
Yeah. So once again, you said, let me ask the question again. Does he need creation in order to love?
In order to love?
Yeah, actualizing the attribute.
Yeah, to actualize an attribute, obviously you need someone to actualize the attribute on, obviously.
Thank you. Okay. So and this attribute is within his nature, correct?
This attribute, yeah, is part of his essence, yes.
Okay. So if his essence is in need of anything, that would be an imperfect God that would actually be dependent. And if your God is dependent, then he's created. It's not logical to say that he is eternal, but then he is dependent.
No, because having the attributes of loving and actualizing the result of the attributes, which is obviously showing love to someone, it wouldn't. You're misrepresenting the two. Like there's two things that are happening. One is actually doing the action, like someone having the output of love put onto them, versus the actual attributes, which is eternal. So the attributes of love would be eternal, but the actualization wouldn't be.
What does eternal mean, bro?
Yeah, so eternal would just mean he possesses an attribute. Like I
No.
mentioned
The word eternal, what does that mean?
Huh?
What does the word eternal mean?
Yeah, it wouldn't have a beginning or an end.
Okay, so not subjected to time, correct?
Yeah, but you're not understanding my point. I'm saying there's a difference between having the attributes of love and actually the output.
I actually understand better than you'd think. Okay, look. I mean, still menu. Okay, so I'm going to clarify where your position is. You can tell me if I misunderstood it or not. Your position is that he always had the ability. That's never changed. He's eternally had it. What's changed as to whether he is actualizing it or not. Correct?
Yeah, he actualizes it temporally. But one thing I will clarify is there's a difference between having an ability and the output that it creates. So the output that love creates, for example, like that doesn't have to be eternal. Same way, right? We believe the Quran is not eternal, right? But we believe.
But here, hold on a second though. But you said the attribute is within his nature, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now, one more clarification. Time is the measurement of change. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So if his nature is eternal, that means all of his abilities don't change because they're not subjected to time. Would you agree?
Yes, but I keep telling you the output of love. Like, let's say you love someone, right? You do it through something. That something wouldn't be eternal, right? That doesn't have to be eternal.
Yeah. But it's still a change, though. It goes from something that I'm not doing to doing.
Yeah, and that's completely fine. We believe that God can change. Like, for example, in a way, like if you ask him, "Oh, what day is it today?" He would say Monday, but then tomorrow he'll say, "What day is it?" It's Tuesday. Like, we believe that he can, actualize even his knowledge in some aspects. So
Brother,
it's not a problem for us.
Brother, you cannot affirm change within your God, and then say your God is logical. That's a contradiction.
What are you talking about? Okay, so if I asked your God, "What day is it today?" What would he tell me?
Those things, yeah. If you're having a conversation with God within creation, then yeah, sure. That would be there would be a specific
and
answer.
Then the next day he would say Wednesday. So does that indicate change?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. That manifestation of God's action is temporal. I agree with you, right? However, there's nothing within his nature or his energies or his essence that changes within that manifestation. When you say that the ability of Allah, which is within his nature, goes from inactivity to activity, that's a potential to an actualization. That is change. That's the definition of change.
You're confusing the attributes of love being inactive, and you're confusing it between the actual outputs of the attributes of love, which can be done in time, right?
I actually don't have a problem.
Actually tell me the symmetry
I'll tell you. I don't actually have a problem with you saying that the act of his love, right, is manifests within time. That's not actually my argument. That's where you think I'm bringing, but I'm not bringing that. What I'm saying is,
no, I'm not saying you're bringing that either. I'm saying you keep saying the attributes of love is equivalent to the output after the attribute is actualized.
What causes the output? Does the ability cause the output of that love?
The ability obviously causes the output, but the output itself will not be eternal.
Good. Was that ability active or inactive before creation?
Yeah, that ability can be active and inactive, same way that I gave you the example of.
If something, one second, piece. If it goes from inactivity to activity, is that a before and an after?
Are you talking about the output?
I'm talking about the ability going from inactivity to activity. Is that a before and an after?
Yeah, so if you're referring to ability as in the attributes, it wouldn't change.
I'm not talking about whether the output. I'm not talking about whether the ability is there or not. I'm just talking about from the state of being inactive to active. Is that a before and an after?
Yeah, the output can be inactive and then active. Like
right.
We can actualize it.
That's what I'm asking. So you're agreeing with me. So you're agreeing that there's a before and an after, correct?
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Okay, now please give me the argument on how that is not a change.
Yeah, it's not a change. Same way I gave you I asked you before, but you cut me off. I asked you, what is the symmetry breaker, right? Between the speech of Allah, the attributes of speech being eternal, but the Quran being not itself.
That's actually a problem.
Right?
That is
Because
another
this-
argument against it. So that's not going to be. That's
Yeah,
not going to
but
help you. But I'm
I
talking
want you
about.
to tell me the symmetry breaker between that.
Bro,
right?
I'm actually asking you to tell me how it's not a change, because a change would go from a potential to an actual, right? So, for example, a light bulb has the potential to shine a light, but that doesn't mean it's eternally shining a light, correct?
Yeah, the change of the like in terms of activating the output of love or deactivating it at a different time, that's this not a contradiction, because you keep confusing the attributes of love between
Brother,
the output.
you keep saying all this other stuff, but do you agree?
I'm not saying anything else, bro.
Do you
keep asking
agree?
the same
Do you
thing and I
agree?
keep telling
Do
the
you
same
agree? I'm using the example of a light bulb. Do you agree that the light bulb has the potential to shine a light?
Yeah.
Okay. So it has the potential to shine a light, and whether it's off or on, that potential remains within that light bulb. Now, when the light bulb is off and then it gets turned on, intrinsically, there is a change within the light bulb, correct? From inactivity to activity.
The intrinsically, like the nature of, well, not the nature, the attribute of it being able to turn the light on, or it being able to be radiant, would always be there. It wouldn't change.
I'm not arguing that.
What would change?
Brother, you
because
keep trying to go there. Listen to my question again. That's not what I asked. I just asked
but I'm
the ability.
answering you the
Listen. I'm gonna say
question,
it three. No, you're not. You're trying to conflate what I'm saying. I'm gonna reiterate this. Okay, the ability of shining the light is there. That's not going to change. I'm gonna say it again. The ability doesn't change. I'm gonna say it one more time. The ability doesn't change. I'm in agreement with you. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, is there any change within the light bulb when it goes from inactivity to activity? Yes or no?
Within the essence, no, there won't be any change. No.
Okay, so the light bulb doesn't go from not shining to shining. That's not a change to you.
Yeah, the potential of it being able to turn on and off doesn't change. But what does change is the actual light being.
What has the potential?
Output.
When we say what has the potential?
1 second, bro. Let me finish 1 second. The light being the output, that can be active. That can be turned on or off. That doesn't change the potential, right? That's all I'm trying to.
What has the potential?
What the light bulb has the potential.
Correct. So if the light bulb has the potential and it goes from, if the light bulb has the potential and it goes from, if change is going from potential to actual, what went through that change?
Nothing, because the potential always remained.
Bro, this is crazy.
How
Nothing. A light bulb going from off to.
Bro, can you answer one of my questions?
Hold on. A light bulb going from off to on. The light bulb has the potential, and the light bulb goes from potential to actual, but nothing changed in that scenario. Are you serious?
Yeah, the output change. For example,
I don't care about the light. I'm talking about the light bulb. Did the light bulb go through a change? Did the light bulb go from potential to actual?
No, the potential still remains.
Peace, do you want to ask your question? Because I'm about to boot this idiot. I'm about to boot this idiot.
Look, I'm gonna ask you. Let's say when the light.
If I would have clarified earlier, we could have prevented some, you know.
It's not going to prevent. This guy is absolutely an idiot. It wouldn't have mattered. But go ahead.
No, bro, look, you're not answering. You're not letting me ask any question.
My question was going to clarify so that way he couldn't do this. Because the beginning of your statement, when he asked you about the love of God, you immediately jumped because you knew where he was going, and you jumped and you said, "Oh, it doesn't need to be actualized to have the ability." That's what you said. It's on record. That's what you said. I remember. No, I'm not done. That's what you said. You said when he was taking the conversation about the love of Allah. You immediately jump before he even asked you a question. You immediately jump. He doesn't need to actualize it to have the ability. That's where you went. The question, because you already admitted that it's unactualized love. So your God has potency. You're saying his potency doesn't change. But the fact that he has potency means that he does change because he can go from potential to actual, what you're trying to say is that because what the actualization is external, it's an output, doesn't mean it doesn't change what our
Anderson,
argument is.
let me test
It
your
doesn't
logic.
change what our argument is. No, because I waited for you guys to make this point. It doesn't change our argument. It literally is saying that not only does your God have potency, but your God goes from his love is conceptual. It's not actualized. It's conceptual love. And if love is an action and he's just dormant and he has the potency, he has the ability, but isn't actualized, then it's not actual love. It's conceptual love, which means your God changes and doesn't actually have eternal love.
Yeah, look, let me test your logic then. So, for example, in the light bulb example, right? When the light bulb's on, can you say that it has the potential to, for example, turn off? Right? Obviously, it has the potential. The potential doesn't just change.
We're not asking
into
about the potential. We're asking
the
the fact that your
potential changes into actualization.
God has potential is the problem. You're not addressing that part.
Yeah, that's not a problem for us.
Yes, that's not. There you go. There's your clip, guys.
Just be an attribute.
God having potential is not a problem in Islam.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? Look, you're just trying to get your own gotcha.
because an eternal being cannot have potential, bro. An eternal being cannot have potential.
Listen, an eternal being has an attribute of something, right? He doesn't have to actualize it. He can actualize
He cannot be potential, bro. That's a squared circle, bro. A square cannot be a circle, right? Just so something eternal, a being that is eternal, cannot have potential.
A being that is eternal cannot have potential.
No.
Like when you say, what do you mean? Like
What do you mean? What do you mean? Eternal means no. Eternal. Here, I'll break it down since you don't know what it means. Eternal means not subjected to time. Time is the measurement of change. Change is from potency, potential, to actualization. So if a being is eternal, he doesn't have any potential within him. So you cannot say a being, by definition, if he's eternal, does not have any potency. But you just said that he does and that he's eternal as well. Those are contradiction. That's a contradiction. It cannot be logical.
So just so the chat knows, if something is eternal, it automatically means it is changing. It's unchanging. Unchanging.
Look, let me ask you a question then. Does your God have the? Does your God depend on creation to show mercy?
No.
Why?
Mercy is an act of love. His love, it's a manifestation of his love, and his love is not dependent on creation.
So who does he show mercy to before creation, bro?
I just told you, mercy is a manifestation of his love. Just like remember I said, I don't have a problem with acts being temporal. The act of mercy,
no, they would all be attributes of love. Of
those
course.
are we're not. I don't believe that all of these actions are necessarily attributes of God. There are energies that are eternal and unchanging. Being merciful is a manifestation of his love, which is which you can say is an attribute of God.
Okay, so that manifestation, is that inactive?
It's not
until creation?
No, because it's a manifestation of his love, and his love is always active. This is why, guys, if you're a Christian, no offense to everybody else, this is why the Orthodox Church is bulletproof. Because essence energy distinction, it actually keeps God logical within classical theism. The mercy is a manifestation of his love, the energy of love, which is not dependent on creation in order for it to be active, whereas Allah's attribute of love is dependent on creation in order to be actualized. Period. Point blank. Anyways. W Peace in the chat. For clarifying, sorry, I was in the middle of me driving a point, so that's why I said hold on.
It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me clarify.
Yeah.
Usually, I don't just be talking for no reason. When I say something, it's because I was listening. To
No, I know, and I usually do, but I was in the middle of asking one one more question to try to drive a point. But anyways,
he was just saying the same thing from the beginning of your argument. He was just saying the same thing. That's why I was just getting annoyed that like he wasn't even understanding what you were saying at all.
guys, also W to the YouTube, to the YouTube, because we did hit like 96 viewers, which is I think is the highest now that we have received to this point. So thank you guys for hitting me highest. We're at 83 right now, and we got 120 on TikTok. So we got about 200 people. Make sure you hit Peace a follow right now, who is on the panel. If there's a little plus sign next to her, go ahead and hit her a follow. She will be probably going live later today. I don't know. I started late, and that's my fault. So if she doesn't go live, it's on me. Okay. But make sure you hit her a follow.
That link in the description.
The link in the description as well on the YouTube to give her some subs. She doesn't have any content yet, but she will be dropping content very soon. Also, guys, I think tonight at some point, are you guys doing ladies' night tonight? Peace.
Beats me, but I mean, you know, it's up in the air, but
Okay.
I would assume maybe.
If they do ladies' night, I'm assuming it's gonna be like around 8 o'clock or so. Guys, tonight, I am gonna more than likely, 90% sure, gonna select a video to react to do a solo live reaction to kind of just try it for the first time tonight. I don't know what video yet, but if you guys want to suggest a video,
You're gonna do that while we're on?
no, I'm gonna do it before. So that's why I was asking. They're probably gonna be on around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm probably gonna do it before. So like 6 or 7 Eastern Standard Time, because it'll probably take me like an hour or so. Okay. If you click on my link on my TikTok, my Discord link is there. If you're on my YouTube, my Discord link is in my profile. Okay. If there's moderators that can grab the link really quick and put it in the chat in the YouTube, that'll be great, because they can just click it and join the Discord. As soon as I get off here, I got an appointment, but within the next hour, I am going to put, I'm going to make a new channel, and I'm going to announce it to everybody on the Discord as to where you guys can give me recommendations of what videos you want me to react to. Okay, so I've gotten a good feedback from you guys that you guys want me to react to videos. You guys enjoy it, right? You guys will enjoy it. So, but not all of my suggestions are going to be good, okay? Some I might get right, some you guys might not like, okay? Same thing with your guys' individual suggestions. So, we're going to do like the church here, okay? We're going to go with the consensus. So, I want people recommending videos on this new channel I'm going to make on the Discord. And then if you guys see other suggestions that you think are good ideas from someone else, I want you to like that suggestion. And then the ones that have the highest suggestions, I'm going to hit first, okay? And then I'm just going to go down the list, and if it goes well, I'm just going to keep doing these reaction videos, okay? But I want to get your guys' input as to what you would like for me to react to. And we're going to keep it, hopefully make it a regular thing, okay? I don't know how often I'm going to do it. It just depends on how things go. We're just testing this out right now, okay? So bear with me on it, all right? I'm not going to make any long-term commitments or anything, but if it goes well, I'm going to make some sort of commitment, okay? So I need your guys' help. I want what you guys think, what you guys would be entertained by, and we can do that in the Discord to vote on it, okay? And we can, like I said, we can keep this on a regular basis, okay? The other thing is, too, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, not on TikTok, only on YouTube. We're doing a live reaction video. Peace and I are going to host Bryce J from TikTok on YouTube, where we're going to do a live reaction to the last encounter between Libiano and God Logic, and about the Trinity. And Bryce J, if you guys don't know, he is way better than I am, than philosophy and church history and church fathers and so forth. So we're going to pick his brain on his thoughts behind the arguments that are being presented, and just use it as a time that we can learn together. I am going to open it up for Q&As for you guys. So I want you guys to ask him questions too, not just Peace and I. Peace and I are going to try to ask the questions the best we can to pull the most information that we can out of him. but you guys can ask questions too. So it is going to be interactive. I want you guys to be involved and help us pull as much information as we can during this time with him. Okay, so we are going to be reacting to it, and we're going to be doing that. Okay, so those are some of the things that are coming up on the channel as well. So please go ahead and join the Discord if you guys want to be involved in giving me some content suggestions as far as live reactions. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Make sure you guys follow. I do have an appointment here in like a minute, so I do got to roll. But thank you guys. This was a great live. Good numbers. So thank you guys so much for everything. Good numbers on both TikTok and YouTube. Really, really appreciate it. We did hit the super chat goal, so thank you. Now I learned how to do, like, I guess I was putting super chat goals in the comments, right? And I guess there's a way on YouTube Live where you can actually put an actual goal with a timer on YouTube. So I learned how to do that today, so that's pretty cool. And we can keep these goals going for super chats and stuff like that. So anyways, thank you guys once again. God bless you guys. Appreciate all the support. Hope you guys learned something today. Don't forget to follow Peace on the way out. If there's a little plus sign next to her on TikTok and on YouTube, her link is in my description. But thank you guys. God bless you. Yeah, did you have something to say? Sorry.
I said thank you, Mila.
Oh, hey, you're welcome. Yeah, we're getting close to that private jet. Yeah, we're getting that prosperity gospel up in here. But anyways, thank you guys for all the support. Everything that's been going on. I'm going to try to find some videos also to drop here very soon for the week, going into the weekend, and for next week as well. So more videos coming out, live reactions coming out. We got a lot of stuff coming. So thank you guys so much. God bless you guys in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, now and forever, and to the ages of ages. Amen.